I believe the West, and America in particular, needs the best. If one country has a nuclear bomb and the other country has a set of dull knives, the country with the nuclear bomb is going to define how the world works.
Hi investors, this video is on Palantir stock, and I will reveal all the secrets on Palantir that you must know, both if you already own the stock or if you're thinking of buying the company now. And we look at the main reasons to buy this company and also at the negative ones, at the red flags if you may. And I've bought and recommended a lot of stocks on this channel, and to all my subscribers who bought in with me, our portfolio is up 27% and it has pulled back from the all-time high, but is holding out very well, so well done to us. And by the way, if you want to know when I buy and sell my stocks, or you just want to have a look at my portfolio, just join my free Discord group, and it's the first link in the description below. And it's totally free and just a nice place to chat. And the first thing we are gonna look at are the institutional investors, basically the big funds, banks, etc., who have been buying Palantir stock. And these are the institutional investors for Palantir, and as you can see, there's been a massive spike of purchases in the last quarter of 2020 and at the beginning of 2021, basically as we speak. And we're not talking about small amounts here, we are talking $1 billion. So 2.4 billion at the end of 2020 and then 2.5 billion at the beginning of 2021. And if we scroll down, we can see that there are so many institutional investors buying into this stock. And to mention the most important ones, we have Morgan Stanley, and they bought recently 136 million, and then we have other big names like Charles Schwab. And so this is already great news, because you can see that this company is being bought so heavily even during a market pullback. And by the way, I absolutely love Palantir, and I will make video updates as soon as news on this company comes out, so that you're always up to date. But there is one institutional investor who is really loved and deserves a special mention, and that is ARK Invest. And we are talking about Cathie Wood, who have started buying Palantir quite recently. And on this website called Cathie's ARK, we can actually have a look at the number of shares that ARK has bought over the last few months. And as you can see, they bought Palantir the first time in October last year. But the last time that they bought, and that is what's really interesting, is during the market crash. And as you can see, on March the 24th, literally a few days ago, they bought over 1 million shares. But that wasn't the only purchase during the market crash. They also bought 500,000 on the 5th of March, and then on the 3rd of March, another 2 million shares, and so on. They keep buying and buying, and I'm sure that they will buy more and more as the stock dips. And guys, if you thought that the video was interesting so far, well, what I'm about to show you is so much better. So let's have a look at it now.
If one country has a nuclear bomb and the other country has a set of dull knives, the country with the nuclear bomb is going to define how the world works. I believe the West, and America in particular, needs the best software systems precisely so that we don't have conflicts.
Palantir has built a massive software platform using the money of the US government, and that the private sector will find it hard to actually compete with such a massive and well-established platform. And this is really the gist of this video. The American government will not let Palantir go bust. It is simply too important for the government themselves. And I can mention other companies, for example Boeing, who has been through quite a rough patch. But the government will not let Boeing or Palantir go bust. No chance. They have invested too much money to let it go to waste. And now that we have discovered that Palantir is actually a very safe investment, relatively speaking, let's have a look at their financial data. And this is their latest earnings report, and they say we generated 1.1 billion in revenue in 2020, reflecting an increase of 47% from our revenue in 2019. And what's really more important is that the scale of our partnerships with customers in revenue terms has also grown over time. In 2020, the average revenue per customer was 7.9 million, and this has increased from 2019 when Palantir average revenue per customer was 5.6 million. And the takeaway here is that the customers of Palantir are actually spending more and more money into their software, and there is actually a very detailed explanation on the reason why this is happening. And here is the explanation. The need for a software that works has never been greater, and their software caters for systemic failures of government institutions to provide to the public. And they also mention fractured healthcare systems, erosion of data privacy, strained criminal justice systems, and so on. And I'm sure this is something you can resonate with. The loss of legitimacy of many of these institutions will only increase the speed with which they are required to improve, and that will be achieved with Palantir software. And one thing that is not too positive and that may be a little bit concerning is that the company has still got a net loss. And between 2019 and 2020, the net loss widened and actually doubled. And so this is the company that stands before us. Incredible revenue growth, but at the same time a net loss. And so at this point, we know that the company is gonna get profitable, but until then, they will have to burn through cash. And so let's have a look at the amount of cash they have on the balance sheet as of now. And they say as of December 31st, 2020, our accumulated deficit balance was 5 billion, meaning that's the debt they have so far. And our principal sources of liquidity were 2 billion of cash and cash equivalents. And they also add that they believe that our existing cash and cash equivalents will be sufficient to meet our working capital and capital expenditure needs for at least the next 12 months. And so that means that they have enough cash for at least the next year, so we can avoid any stock dilution. And even if you do a rough math, you can see that with those $2 billion, they can pay 40% of the total debt they have at the moment. And so the question becomes, is it a good time to buy this stock or not? Let's have a look at the short volume. Now, this is Palantir short interest, and at the time of recording is 17%. And that is not too bad compared to Tesla. This is Tesla on this other page, and at the time of recording is 29% for Tesla compared to 17% for Palantir, and so we see that actually is not bad at all. And so the bottom line, is it a good time to buy Palantir or not? This channel is known for all the speculative plays that I always talk about, but Palantir is a completely different beast. I think that this is one of the safest company you can invest your money in, and that is based on the safety that the US government gives to this company. They are their main customer, and so you are sure that they will always get money from them. I've been buying very heavily even during this market crash, and to be clear, I absolutely love Palantir, and I will make video updates when news on this company comes out because I am an investor, so that you're always up to date. And if you want to know when I buy and sell my stocks, just join my free Discord group. You can also check my portfolio, and it's totally free, guys, absolutely totally free. And if you want to look at a speculative play that is backed by the Chinese government, how about EHang? The video on the screen right now is a deep dive on EHang stock, a drone company. So click on the video.